Good evening, Graham Rawlins with this week's edition of News Geelong. Every community throughout country Victoria is aware of the need for emergency service support, and the Meredith Community Rescue Team was a good example recently with a much needed donation to house this Township Emergency Response Unit. From the world of sport, Mitch Cleary updates us the latest in sport happening around our Geelong and surrounding areas, whilst from the weather, we'll bring you weather from Geelong and around the Surf Coast expected over the next 6 days. The annual Derby Day Fete held at St Mary's Primary School is always a much looked forward to event by the people of Geelong, and this year was no exception as thousands poured through the gates on a family day definitely fit for a Derby Day Fete. News Geelong was there to join the fun at the fair with this report.
Couldn't ask for anything more, Graham. It really is a great team, though. I'm just at the front pushing a few buttons, but most of the people, everyone here has just put so much together last few days, getting everything set up. But it's great to see so many people here.
And we're getting bigger and bigger and bigger, particularly with the new school.
Looks like it. This is our third year on this new site, and I think we've sort of nailed it down as to what should go where now. So generally speaking, we're pretty happy with the way it's set up.
And one of our only missing characters is a man who normally sells the raffle tickets inside the main hall, who at the present time recovering out at McKellar House, and that's Don Matheson.
Yeah, Donny's. I saw Donny a few days ago, and he's in good spirits, and he's come through very well. And talk about a Geelong icon. You don't have to go any further than Don Matheson, do you?
And Father, you've got every range of activity. You've got fruit and veg, books. It just goes on and on. A lot of planning must go into this.
It's almost a year's work, but it's a great community engagement as far as we're concerned. For me, the role of the church is to be involved with and part of the community, and this does it magnificently with our schools, our connections with the Geelong Veterans Welfare Centre, Anamkara House, Samaritan House. These are the things, we don't run them, but we're part of them and they're part of us, and we're delighted that that's the case.
I think the community really are coming out because the days of the good old fete are similarly fading, but St Mary's Derby Day keeps on going.
Well, it does, and there's no entry fee. It's good value. The people say the food is very inexpensive. We won't say cheap, but very wholesome and just terrific food. Great bargains at some of the stalls. Just fantastic bargains all round.
Well, he's given up the flannels today to come to the St Mary's Derby Day Fete. Geelong's own Ian Cover. How difficult was it between the Red Cherry and the St Mary's Fete Coves?
I think I'm these days, it's a pretty easy decision, Rawlo. My days of playing cricket are over, but certainly still enjoy watching it. So when we're over here, we might slip down and have a look at Geelong.
And talking to one of your good friends, Gideon Hay, during the week on the release of his new book, Me Warn, he sends his best regards and still reckons he can outright you.
Oh, that's very good, but I'm disappointed actually. This is a bit of controversy for your program. A bit disappointed Gideon didn't contact me to give some, background or insight into Warnie. I've known him for a long time, and I've also dismissed him in a cricket match.
Dismissed him? How, when?
In Bendigo a couple of years ago, in a tribute match for John Forbes, a well-known sporting figure, was a promotions man at Puma for many years, looked after all the stars, and Forbes is not in the best of health, so there's a big tribute match in Bendigo. Warnie was playing because he was originally in the Puma stable, and my captain was Mark Tubby Taylor, just to drop a name, and he brought me on to bowl the last over of the 2020 match. Warnie was last man in. First ball, hit it straight back through the goals for 4 on the Kangaroo flat ground, and the second ball, I held it back a bit and he didn't quite get to the pitch of it and he was caught at long on.
Caught it long on, Warn, bowled Cover.
Correct.
And a man who has had his name on, he's set a new record in Geelong because he's had his name on more pamphlets in the history of his time on earth, Greg Champion. Welcome to Geelong, Greg, again.
Delighted to be here. More pamphlets than the rest of my career put together. 20,000 pamphlets, Father Kevin tells me. That's a big honour, and that will be great on my CV.
That's one holy message going around our great city.
Well, not even in my hometown of Adelaide would I ever get my name on 20,000 pamphlets. So this is the big time.
I was just thinking, if the Flyers had been out a week earlier, Greg may well have been elected Mayor of Geelong.
Now, you two are going up on stage to perform, and one of the attractions. It's great of you to give of your time on such an important day and an important community event.
And you hear this music in the background. That's the style of music that Could Have Beens will be adopting next year when we modernise our show.
Yeah, we've been going 32 years, and I think it's time we moved into the modern musical era. I'm loving the sound of this cheerleader music.
yeah.
Gee, it's got us pumped up. The only one problem with the cheerleaders, Greg, of course, is well known as an Adelaide Crows man, a South Australian. The cheerleaders are wearing Port Power colours. You're a bit distressed about that.
Yeah, lucky you can't see that, but, you know, at least they're doing a good job for Geelong, and that's the main thing.
Among the throng of people attending the Derby Day fete were many Geelong leading identities. News Geelong spoke with Chairman of Bowen Water, Michael King, as the weather conditions put a demand on the drinking water product of the day. A man of many hats around our great community, but Michael, a terrific day down here now.
Oh, look, it is, and the weather's fantastic. This is probably, the 10th or 11th year, and Father Kevin and the parish have really put together yet another great Derby Day fete.
And of course, they can get their fresh water with the lovely Bowen Water trailer that comes in. That's been a great innovation.
Oh, look, it has, and look, Bowen Water, obviously the best water in the country, but look, a great organisation, and again, it's part of the message about conservation and using water wisely, and it's great for Bowen Water to be actively involved in the community in a day like today.
Are you enjoying that role as Chairman of Bowen Water amongst many?
Look, I am. It's a real challenge, and look, on behalf of the board, we're really pleased to be able to let people know there'll be 0 or 8 increases for the next 5 years, CPI only, and we're the lowest water authority in the state. So for the cost of living pressures, we're very proud in terms of what we've been able to achieve with the organisation.
And Michael, in this day and age around our great community of Geelong, sometimes people are saying it's tight, sometimes they're feeling down, but on a day like today with the sun shining and throngs of people coming through all the different venues, it just raises a hair on the back of your neck, doesn't it?
Look, it does, and today's just a great example of what Geelong's really become famous for: volunteerism, a sense of community, and a real sense of optimism. And with our newly appointed or directly elected Mayor in Keith Fagg, I think Geelong's on the cusp of many successes in the years ahead.
Well, we all hope for that, and we will all work towards that. And of course, we've got the Could Have Been champions on stage at the present time. One of them belonged to us, the other one belongs to a place called Adelaide. But Ian Cover has always been a Geelong man.
Look, he has, and he's been very generous with his time over a number of different organisations, and he's a real credit to the Geelong community. And he's here yet again today, entertaining people in his own humorous way with Greg Champion, and just adding to the day.
This is News Geelong and our Friday weekly edition. As we go to a break, we'll return with more news after this.